The expiration date. Mind you, I don't normally get into stuff like this except when I can't get answers.
But Donna, you know, for example, what we talked about was just in that period of time, you saw what happened in their estimate of almost a $200,000 increase in the price. And that's, so actually, again, you know, they're anticipating actually that in that delay, the value of that cut has appreciated by close to 20%.
From my understanding, from what I have seen though, the commissioners have made a decision and are going to write a letter to DNR. Besides paying $30,000, and no wonder they paid $30,000 if you look at the work that DNR has already done to prepare for this cut, plus possibly another $15,000 because for a reconveyance, when already Sanders has said it's tough to find land of equal value. So it's $30,000, it's $15,000. I let a staff person go. We worked hard to get this budget. Now we have $75 in DNR timber through February.
So again, I don't know that this is impacting our revenue for 2010 at all, and it may actually have an overall impact to the revenue. An example was...
Are the schools and the fire districts worse? Because one fire district has 2 issues on the ballot. They're going out March 29th, I think, because they need money. April 29th, I think.
No, I think that's a fair point that we probably need to do more outreach. On the issue of comparable value, then I think that also can work in our favor. The property in the area of Bowside Gibbs Lake, the land value is high and the timber value is not especially high.
Have you then let the leader of the Peninsula Daily News know? Because you're saying now there is going to be a cut there?
Yeah, they know that they've only been withholding a portion of the sale.
Yeah.
Every article I've read has talked about that they're only withholding. The sale involved way more than just the 2 parcels between both sides of the lake. But you're right, to a degree, they put it off 2 months, but maybe that was in our favor. Will we maybe not get money until in 2011 that we would have gotten? Maybe. Yeah. Will we get more maybe in 2012 or 13 than we would have gotten? Maybe. But I think the point that Donna and Judy are trying to make is that we just, at this point in time, given where we're at, these kind of things need to be looked at, you know, pretty carefully. And sometimes we can't always do what we want to do. But yeah.
No, that's one of the values of this meeting is to bring these questions forward because they're good questions and
the decision apparently was made. I asked this brought before. We discussed. Yeah. Well, of course, there was their meeting in January. I wasn't here. There was. I don't know if you discussed. I didn't see anything in there. I didn't see anything in that about it.
I think with the Gibbs Lake, we have looked at a lot of those, but you need to have your questions answered because that's part of what this is all about. And there's some real limitations with the equestrian park too, in terms of what we can do with that and how we can manage that. And I think both of those we have a lot of possibilities for coming out better in the long run. Well, I think where our really question is Laurel Grove. With the Laurel Grove, and I think those are really important questions right now of how we approach that because we haven't made any commitments on that. And you know, we are looking at money for sewer tri-area. There's a place where we can get more affordable housing possibly for our buck than any place if we get that sewer in. So I think those are real-time questions. And I think we've got some real good answers probably if we get into all the detail on Gibbs Lake and the equestrian park. But I think the affordable housing issue is one that we really need to look at in terms of how much we can afford to do that right now with that property and what our options are. I mean, I would like to see, it's one possibility of how is that going to be developed and who's going to develop it. We don't really have requests for proposals out yet for anything for that. You do have one that, you know, somebody came to us and said, hey, how about $1? We'll do all this. And they could do some really good things, but we don't have a contract at all with that. And we do need to be looking at where we're going to get the match money for the tri area sewer, and that is one place we might have to look. So I think your question's real timely and a real good one, because we were counting for the sewer for the Public Works Trust Fund loans, which were always available at 0 to 1% interest for the pre-construction loans for matching that stag grant that we got. And the legislature, then for the first time in ages, didn't fund the Public Works Assistance Account last year or this year. And the only thing they're funding out of the Public Works Trust Fund now are shovel-ready projects, which we need to get to that place. So I think your question is a great one for right now on the road. So thank you.
And where are we with the equestrian?
Well, with the equestrian park, we're still working out a contract. I haven't seen.
Yeah, we're still in negotiations. Let me address some of the questions that you raised and concerns that you raised on that, Judy. This is the 80 acres that we're talking about are adjacent to the existing transfer station and closed landfill, and currently are part of the Department of Public Works solid waste handling facility operating permit. And it includes dotted throughout the 80 acres are both leachate and methane monitoring wells that have to be maintained and monitored for quite a number of years to come.
The folks that are requesting this are well aware of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's been explicitly part of the negotiations, is that they continue to function as such. So this land is not suitable for surplusing at any time in the foreseeable future, both from a solid waste monitoring and operating perspective, and also frankly, I'll put on my risk management hat for a moment, from a liability perspective. I don't know those of you that may recall from 25 years ago, the Midway landfill
Development.
South of Seattle, that was the old Seattle landfill. Houses were built in the area, methane intrusion, and the county had to buy them back. So this is not property to put houses on.
Are we gonna cut the timber and get the revenue from it?
So one of the things that, as I mentioned, we're still in negotiations, and one of the pieces of analysis that I've asked for, there is a timber management plan that the Equestrian Association had put together by a licensed forester. I've asked for a revenue analysis. Under the negotiated agreement that we're working on, the county would retain timber rights, and it's understood that the property would be managed consistent with this forest plan. So I've asked for an analysis by the forester of a revenue stream analysis of if we were managing it just for timber, as opposed to the selective harvest approach that is in the proposed plan. So I've asked for analysis, so at least we can look at those numbers. I don't have them yet. I've also been working to include one of the reason that the county commissioners with the Parks Division have been pursuing this is for two reasons. One is this is potentially creating what is isn't really a park right now, is harnessing private dollars to improve it rather than public dollars.